Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, and we're going to talk about makeup today because I just did mine. How's it look? I'm putting my hair to the side. I kind of like it a bit better, which is weird because I used to do my hair to the side when I was non-binary and a cis man, but I guess I have sort of a different face because I did, the facial feminization thing. So I have a slightly different forehead, and I do look a little different. And obviously my hair's way more feminine and all of that, but I haven't gotten the dysphoria from it. And honestly, that's been great. But when I was putting on makeup, I was definitely looking at myself being like, you look not that impressive. Why are you putting on makeup? You don't even look better by doing this. And then I kind of continued to hear the voice thinking to myself, like hearing it say, like, you don't look good, like, no one's really going to see you. Looking like, look at your flaws in your face and how you look, and you look gross and blah, blah, blah. And that just can continue on and on and on and on, like, a negative dance party. I don't know if you've ever been around a negative dance party, because I have not. But it's in my head, right? It just keeps on going. So I wanted to talk about makeup because I've never really touched on that topic other than I don't ever wear makeup when I make these videos, which honestly I'm trying to change, guys, because when I make a video when I wear makeup, people just like me better. People just like looking at prettier people. So yeah, I'll get on the train for a bit when I feel like it, but I'm not completely throwing out the window my no makeup, minimal, like trying to dress it up and not be real with you. Like, I just want to be honest and just straight up and just be here as myself. How do you feel about makeup and how you want to be perceived and how your authenticity connects with makeup? Because for me, it's kind of like, if I am super, and I'm trying to like kind of also like adjust the framing here. Let me know if this framing is good. You can kind of see my boobies, which is nice. The way that you frame putting on makeup, and what I mean by that is when you're putting on makeup, why are you putting on makeup? Is it to pass? Is it to look pretty? Is it to feel good? Is it to change the way people see you? Is it to hide something that you don't want other people to see? And I think like that last part is something that I want to touch on more, because I see women with lots and lots of makeup on, and they look great, but I also feel like the more you continue to buy into, I need to put on lots of makeup, the more you buy into, I don't look good without makeup as a story. And when you get into that, then you start to believe, I don't look good as a person without makeup. Now, these are progressions, right? And I don't think that's going to happen overnight. But over time, over years and years and years, this is going to build up. It's like, using an analogy from a previous video, it's like the pooping analogy. Which is now going to have to be an ongoing thing. And I'll reference the video that I talk about that down below. But like essentially the pooping analogy is this. You have a bunch of crap if you put a bunch of crap in your system or have a bunch of crap in your system, you need to get it out. And the best way to get it out is to kind of like allow it to kind of flow out, to experience it, and then to let it go, which is sort of exactly like pooping, because you experience the poop, your body is completely in the pooping experience, and then when it's out, you're done, right? But for this subtle self-talk, when you're working with yourself in the mirror and you're saying, okay, where are my flaws? What kind of makeup can I put on to hide those flaws? Foundation, I'm looking at you. And what can I do to make myself look prettier? You're creating a narrative and a belief that you need to hide things. And this over time is, if you don't poop it out, if you don't cleanse that toxic narrative, it's going to build up and it's going to grow into its own thing. And yeah, like we've got other things that we're dealing with, like gender dysphoria, or just not liking the way that we look, or just that, like other people are not saying nice things. Like for you, where do you find that you struggle the most in your transition in terms of your negative self-talk and like what's working with you? For me, My negative self-talk is related to not having a partner and not being lovable, which I cover in the Am I Lovable video. And then I think the other one is when I look at myself in the mirror and I do makeup, I'm actually kind of critical of myself, and I'm like, oh, look at the dark circles in your eyes, and like look at your cheeks, and like look at the indents in your, like it just goes on. And I think makeup is one of those touchier subjects for trans women, because it's a touchy subject for women in general, not to talk about, but it's a subtle thing, right? Like you look out into the world, you see advertisements, you see everyone who looks pretty wearing makeup, and then you compare yourself to them, and then you buy like into this huge industry, right? Sephora, I buy from Sephora all the time. Thank you, Sephora, for supporting trans women. That's where they taught me how to do makeup. But like, damn, like there's so much of an industry around this that it's good to make you feel insecure about the products that you use or how your face looks so you can cover them. And every time I ask a cis woman about what product should I use, I get like 30 products. Not 30, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'd say around 15. Now, I just made another video about the makeup that I use, and I use about, if I'm just looking at it on the table here, I use a mascara. I use sometimes a thing to make my pencils stick to my eyelashes. And then I have a foundation, and I have a red lip thing. And then this is just like a liquid eyeliner, which is, and that's, if I actually count the different purposes of the products that I use, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in a day-to-day scenario, like more often than not, I just use my foundation and my eyeliner and my mascara. And this is kind of more of like, one hand, that's all I use. So like, I kind of wanted to throw this out there to get you to think about it. Like, what's your relationship with makeup? Is it something that you want to improve on? Are you attached to kind of like making yourself look better? How do you use it as a tool, and how can we play with this notion of makeup to make your experience better and not stepping away with a negative self-talk about how you're not valid or how you don't look good or how you need to rely on makeup to look good? It's this double-edged sword, and I feel like this is a big thing when you become a trans woman, or even if you're non-binary and you want to like look better. Once you buy into the idea that beauty is an important thing to you, you now feel not beautiful. And it's never been more prevalent to me than when I first transitioned, because I was living a world as a guy, and I was like, and even living the world as a non-binary person, I was like, okay, well, I'm non-binary, and I don't have to look a certain way, and I can just show up like this, and I like to wear clothes that look like that. But as soon as I bought into, like I'm a trans woman, now I'm buying into the narrative of, like as a woman, I should be beautiful, and that's something that I should celebrate. And to be honest, I love feeling beautiful. It's something that I seek out. But by buying into the love of that and the attachment to the idea of beauty, I now also get the opposite of beauty, which is that I feel ugly or that I don't look good. And that can be its own set of challenges. Where are you on this journey? Like, what's going on for you as you process this and think about your relationship to makeup? How are you doing with developing your talent? You developing your skill working with it? Do you care about it? How invested are you? How invested are you emotionally in using makeup? I'd love to hear. Let me know in the comments down below. Oh, and by the way, I have a Discord group, so if you want to join that, the link is down there as well. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Really, really appreciate it. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do that too. You can buy me a cup of tea or something. And I do respond to all messages from my patrons, so if you want to reach me, that's a great way to do it. Have a great, wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!